What is this bit of my hair? Just washed it this morning, so it's all crazy. Hello! Now, if any of you saw my Instagram the other day, you will know that I went on a little mini sort of boots splurge and bought a few new makeup items. I say mini because I did actually only buy 4 things. But I thought I'd show you them today and do a kind of first impressions sort of little video, just so you can see me trying them out and what I think of them at first try. Oh, and if you're not following me on Instagram, it's TashaB1237. First thing I bought was actually the most expensive out of all of the 4, and that is the Chanel Le Beige, I'm not going to try and pronounce it, it's French, Healthy Glow Foundation. Now, if any of you saw my vlog I did a couple of weeks ago where we went to the spa and went shopping, you'll know that Meg picked up one of these foundations and I had a little tester, which I tried, but it was too light for me, but I did really like the foundation. And now that my NARS foundation has run out, I thought I'd pick up one of these and see how I got on with it. So, kind of already know that I'm gonna love it, but I went for shade number 30 this time. This one's got an SPF of 25 in it, which is always good. I really like the colour scheme it's got going on. I thought it was quite similar to my channel, but instead of having black and beige, I've got blue and beige. The bottle is a little frosted glass bottle, and it just says Le Beige Healthy Glow Foundation SPF 25 from Chanel. So it's got a pump, which is good because my NARS one didn't, and I had to use a little cotton bud. The lady in the shop, when she did the colour test on me, said that it's a buildable foundation, so don't be tempted to put loads of it on your hand and then sweep it all over. You can build it up as you go along and add more coverage in areas you think you might need it, like on your cheeks. So she said try starting out with like half pumps and then seeing how that goes. It says Healthy Glow, but it's quite a matte foundation, so if you are going to use a powder, only use a tiny little sweep just on your T-zone to set things in place where you might get more shiny. She said it was a really good foundation that lasted throughout the day, so I'll test it now and then let you know what I think. The next thing I picked up, I actually got an email about, and it was about the original Beauty Blender. Now, I've got one of the Real Techniques makeup face sponges, and I really like that and really got on well with it, but when I got an email from Boots saying that they are actually bringing out the original Beauty Blenders in their stores, I thought that's it, that's my chance to go and get one and try one out. I love the Real Techniques sponge, so I'm hoping that I will really like this one as well. It's the original Beauty Blender, obviously you use it wet, it's pink. I didn't buy the cleaner with it because I used Johnson's baby shampoo to clean my brushes, it's cheaper. But I'm going to use that with my foundation and see how that makes my skin look. I also bought a new concealer that has been raved about by loads of people. It's the Maybelline Anti-Age the Eraser Eye Perfect and Cover Concealer with Goji Berry and Halo something. But yeah, it's this concealer here. It's got the funny little spongy applicator at the top, and you twist the concealer up so it goes up and through the little sponge. This one I bought in the colour Light. They've got 2 colours, I think it's Light and Natural or Light and Beige. And I went for the light one just for using under eyes. I wanted to brighten it up, that area, a little bit more. People rave about this. So I'm going to see how good it is. I'm going to see whether I like the coverage, whether it lasts throughout the day, whether it creases. But I'm going to try this one out here because I've heard such good things. And then the last thing I picked up, I am so late to the party again. This is a running theme for me now that it seems. But I picked up the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. This is like a cult classic. It comes in this cute little box with like bamboo edging around. Maybe not the best thing to fit in a makeup bag because it is a little chunky and I wouldn't want to ruin the packaging by getting it all squished with everything else. It's a really pretty little box that flips open and has a tiny little mirror in the top. It comes with a little brush as well, so that's one that you use obviously to do your bronzer and contouring and things. And the colour, it's a matte colour, so it's not like shimmery or anything, and it's kind of a lightish brown. It looks quite pale, so I don't know how it's going to work as a contour colour, but I thought I'd pick it up and try it out just to see, because I know so many people love this bronzer. This has been around for quite a while, so I am the latest to the party here. So that's all the 4 different things I bought. Let's get on to the second part of the video where I try them all out. Right, so I've done all my moisturiser, done all my primer and things like that, and I've put my hair back out of my face. Apologise, I am an egg. But the first thing I'll go in with is the Chanel foundation. Tiny little bit on my hand. And I'm just going to use the Real Techniques pointed foundation brush that comes as part of their little brush package to put it on with. Okay, so initially it looks a little bit orange. That might be just because I've not blended it very well. Okay, so I've used my little pump already and just done this area. So gonna do a bit more. I'll try a full pump this time, I think. I'm not sure how much of an even match this is to my skin tone. It looks quite red based. I feel like my skin tone is more of like a yellow based tone, being Asian and all. Okay, so I've used the pump on my hand and got it on pretty much most of my face where I want it. Now I'm going to go in with my beauty blender, which I do actually need to go and dampen, and then buff it all in together. So give me a second. Okay, so now that I've got it wet, the beauty blender has actually grown about twice as big as it was to start with. So just going to take the bum, I guess, and just dab that where I've put all the foundation. Okay, so at this stage, I think the coverage is quite light, but they did say it was a buildable foundation. So I think I'm going to go in with a little bit more just to touch up some areas where my skin tone is still a bit uneven. I've got the most ferocious spot on my chin, and it really hurts. I've also got a bit of an outbreak on my forehead, and it doesn't seem to be wanting to cover that up too well. Okay, so I really like the Beauty Blender sponge. That is leaving it looking pretty good. It's quite a nice density of a sponge as well. I remember once I bought one from Primark and it looked very much like a beauty blender, but I think it only cost me about 50p. Oh my god, it was like shoving a rock on your face. It was so dense, even water couldn't help it. I think that looks alright. I think that'll do alright for a base to start with. So the next thing to do is concealer. So I'm going to take this and just do it on the usual places where I would conceal. Just twist the top up a little bit. Ooh, it feels really weird to apply. I'm just going to do the usual triangle underneath my eyes. A little bit on my forehead where I've got some spots. Oh, it's like a sponge, it sounds really weird. A bit down my nose and a bit on my chin. Okay, cool. Liking it so far. Just blend it in. And this time I'm going in with the pointy end of the Beauty Blender. It's quite a thick consistency, this one. Okay, maybe I buffed a bit too much on my forehead because the spots are coming through. I like that. Maybe not so much for the really dark circly bits of my eyes, but the rest of it sort of like brightened underneath the face looks good. Quite a nice natural coverage as well, I think. It's like once you buff it in, it doesn't look too thick. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Seal of approval from Tash. And then the last thing I've got is the Hoola bronzer. Now I'm going to try it out with the little brush it came with, just so I can do a full review of the whole thing. It's always better to start with a little bit than too much. So I've got a little bit there, tapping off any excess. Let's go. Okay, so I'm not too keen on the brush. It's a bit loose. Like, the bristles are really long, which make it kind of difficult to do anything with. Yeah, I'm going to get my other brush for that one. So I've got my Real Techniques contour brush and I'm going to try that instead. And this is where we find out I'm actually really rubbish at applying contour. Just take a little bit and do my hairline as well. That was alright. Cool. Alright, so I'm just going to finish off the rest of my makeup now just so I can get a full picture of how it all looks. Oof, if brows could kill. I have gone a little too high with the arch there. It's fine, eyebrows are sisters and not twins. Okay, so I've majorly blended my eyeshadow too high, but I'm not actually going anywhere today, so it's fine. forgot to curl my eyelashes then. That would have been disastrous. I have no natural curl. And there we go, that is the finished look. I think it looks okay, I think it looks good. I really like the concealer, although maybe not as perfect for the tiny little really dark sections there. I probably need to go in a bit more. The foundation now looks pretty good once I've put it with the rest of the stuff. It does look quite matte, and usually I prefer a foundation that's a bit more dewy, but we'll roll with that for a while. The bronzer, I was disappointed with the brush for, but I think I like the colour and just the fact that I'm rubbish at bronzing and contouring anyway. That will explain this. I like the colour of it. I like that it's quite buildable. The product itself is good. Not keen on the brush though, so probably, I mean, you don't really often see people using the brush that came with it, so that would be why, because it's not as effective. Could potentially do with a bit more coverage of the foundation on my cheeks because it's still a bit pinky underneath, but yeah, pretty happy with those. So yes, I really liked the concealer, really liked the beauty blender. I think the foundation might be a bit of a grower. I'll see how that goes. It definitely looks better once I've got the rest of my face all done up as well. And the bronzer, again, I think I need to use it a bit more before I actually have a proper opinion on it. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it's probably quite a, again, really girly video, but sorry, not sorry, I am a girl. Make sure you subscribe if you would like to see more videos from me. I put new videos up every Wednesday. If there's anything you want to see in particular, leave it down in the comments, or if you want to know any more about what I actually used on the rest of my face, drop a comment below, and I will see you again soon. Bye! Okay, so I just wanted to show you my makeup at the end of the day to see how well it lasted. I actually watched the footage that I did this morning, and the foundation didn't look as bad as I thought it did in real life. And now that I look at it in different lights as well, it doesn't look as orange as I initially thought, so I really like the foundation. It does look really smooth. I get a few little crease lines here on my mouth, which isn't as great as I would like it to be, but the rest of it, the staying power is really good. Like, it hasn't gone cakey, it's not been too shiny. Sometimes I find my forehead gets a bit shiny, but it's not done that at all, and it looks quite, it doesn't look as matte as it started off as, which I'm really happy with because I don't really like matte foundations that are too matte. The contour, once I sorted it out a little bit, oh, it's a little bit patchy there. That's just my bad contour skills. But I really like the colour, and I've actually trimmed the brush down. I've snipped off the top of it, so hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to use, not as floppy, to try and contour my sides. This bit looks quite good. This bit here, that doesn't look too bad. The concealer I really like is that there's very minimal creasing on the concealer. I mean, I've got a tiny little bit under there where I usually get it, but aside from that, very minimal creasing. It has rubbed off a bit on my chin, so my chin spot is out. But aside from that...
What are you doing?
Vlogging.
Vlogging?
Yeah, I'm just doing the end bit of my video.
Don't get me anything because I haven't done my hair yet.
But yeah, overall, I am really impressed with the makeup I bought. Definitely worth the money I spent on it. It's quite expensive, but you know, it does the job. So that's what matters at the end of the day.